Hello and welcome to CrossOver Roll for Initiative. If you'd like to check out the game, there is a link in the description, and this is a tabletop RPG sort of hybrid game with tower defense and Match-3. And now, if you don't know this about me, I absolutely love Match-3 games, and not on a phone, okay? Not on a phone. I absolutely love them on PC. And I know that might seem really, really weird to you, but it's true. And so when I heard about this, which is, well, something that I very much enjoy, I love tabletop RPGs, I love Match-3, I love tower defense, boom, all of those things in one game, yes, sign me up. There is actually a playtest currently running for this game, because it actually comes out in 2023, but if you want to actually participate in the playtest, then you can go through the link in the description, and it will take you right there, and you can request access, and maybe you'll get in. You can also play co-op in this game, which is actually pretty amazing in itself. And well, I suppose without further ado, let's start a new game, and I'll show you what it's all about. So obviously, I do have the ability to choose a game book. I'm gonna just pick the first one here. A large fantasy world with many different regions for adventuring. Mythical creatures, undead priests, and scheming bandits roam the land. So I'm just going to select that. And we can also select the campaign to play as well. So there's a huge amount of different variety here. Obviously, I'm going to pick the one where it's the easiest, just because I want to be able to actually complete levels and show you what it's all about. And here we go. As a veteran courier for the Celadorian High Council, you're used to venturing into dangerous lands. But something evil is rising, and it's your task to warn every corner of Celador before the invasion begins. So, let's play. Alright, so here we go. This is our character sheet. If you are familiar with D&D, or you're familiar with other tabletop RPGs, then this will be a very, I don't know, friendly sight, I suppose. Anyway, you can choose your race. You can choose between human, elf, halfling, dwarf, and you do have the ability to unlock these as well. So, for example, if I wanted to unlock orc, which I'm going to say I do. Why not? Let's unlock the orc for the moment, so that I can actually play as one of the new races. And you get diamonds, by the way, for well, basically just playing the game. You get diamonds for playing the game, and then you can use these diamonds to unlock various other things. For example, if I wanted to unlock the monk class, which I am going to do just for fun, then boom, I have the ability to do that. And this changes everything about your character. So for example, if I wanted to, I mean, you can see the stats down at the bottom left here. This might all seem really overwhelming. I know it was for me a little bit when I first booted up the game, but once you understand all this stuff, it's really not that big a deal, and it's actually really, really intuitive and everything. But yeah, so for example, if you choose halfling, you can see here you gain additional charisma, you gain experience, and so on and so forth. You got, you know, just a faster leveling character if you pick a halfling. If you pick a dwarf, on the other hand, you have a lower experience modifier. But in comparison to that, you are going to gain a variety of other things. So, for example, you're going to gain different base HP, you're going to get different HP per level, and so on. So, for example, you pick an elf, you have a base HP of 12. Now, for me personally, when I've played this, I had a very hard time beating even the first or second level, just purely for the fact that my character had low HP. So I've actually decided, considering I'm kind of a beginner in the world of CrossOver, you know, this is kind of like one of the, you know, first times I've played the game. I've played it a handful of times, and I've tried to get a little bit better at it and understand exactly what's going on with it. So why not play with the orc? And we're going to be playing as the monk class as well. You can pick a warrior if you want, and this is obviously going to affect things too. So for example, if I'm playing as a monk, it allows me to have many less spells, by the way. So you can notice here that if I were to pick, let's say I were to pick the cleric, it allows me to have 6 maximum spells, and you start with the Veil of Light spell, which does 3d4 damage, which is actually pretty good, and it's also in an AoE as well. But with the monk, on the other hand, you can only have 2 spells, but you've also then got to bear in mind that you have a much lower weapon cooldown, you have cheaper prices, you have spell cooldown reduction, and so on. So that's actually really nice. And so we're going to be playing as that. You can also re-roll your stats if you want to. I haven't actually done that at any point either, so I'm just going to leave it the way it is. Don't know whether it's a good idea to re-roll that or not, but I think 23 HP, I think 23 HP is pretty good. We have no armor though, which is a big problem. The monk has no armor, so we might have some pretty big issues here, but I'm going to try it out and we'll see how it goes. Now, the entire game is played in real time, or at the very least, I don't think there is a pause. I don't think there is. It's very fast-paced, so it's highly unlikely I'm going to be able to commentate and play at the same time. I might be able to, but I'm just gonna see how it goes. Anyway, as you reach the High Council's chambers for an urgent task, you spot a trail of blood leading to a council guard's mutilated corpse of fresh kill. And these are the enemies that you're going to have to deal with here as well. You have to deal with the reanimated servants of the acolytes, ghast acolytes, deranged imps, and blood-bound giants. Let's do this. Alright, so here's the match 3. The match 3 is on the right side, and you want to be matching as soon as you possibly can, because as soon as you match, you're going to be gaining these resources down here, and these resources are going to be used to attack your enemies. So the more you're able to do this, the better. So I'm going to try and see if I can... Whoa, that was a nice bit of damage right there. I like that. So if you're like me and you really love match 3, it shouldn't be too bad to eliminate these guys. Wow, we're doing some pretty massive damage. Wow, this is very rare for me. Usually I'm not doing this much damage, but yeah, there you go. Okay, let's just try and do some damage here. By the way, you get bonus damage if you are accurate with your attacks. And also, if you have enough gold, you will be able to summon mercenaries. And matching fast is really useful in that respect. So the more gold you have, mercenaries are very powerful. So generally, it's a good idea to try and do that as fast as you possibly can. Obviously, these green cubes as well, you want to try and get those as much as possible so that you can attack if you have a 1d6. But I think I'm actually having some problems here. As you can see, I'm actually having to use Comatose Whisper multiple times just so that I can survive here. But yeah, we're going to need one of these. There we go. So now we can actually use this finally again, and we're going to be just attacking all of those, and there we have it. So generally, you want to get what your weapon is. So for example, for me, it's these triangles, I believe. Yeah, I think it's the D4s, right? I think it's the D4s. I've only been playing with an axe mostly, and that is a cube. That is the D6. Well, the cube thing. And as you can see, I have basically none of that. So I'm going to have to use Comatose Whisper here multiple times. They do give you some hints some of the time as well, which I very much appreciate. Because for me, sometimes when you're doing so much, looking around and everything, and you're trying to defend against overwhelming odds and everything, I'm going to summon my mercenary here now because I have enough gold to be able to do that. And your mercenary will attack periodically. It's kind of like a tower defense in that respect, because obviously what you're wanting to do is you're wanting to defend against these enemies dealing damage to your stats. I know, it sounds really weird, right? But yeah, that's how it is. You wanted to try and you want to try and defend against the enemy dealing damage to your stats, dealing damage to your HP, because they can do damage to multiple things. They're not only going to be trying to kill you, they're going to be trying to remove your ability to deal damage as well. So there's a huge amount more to think about when actually dealing with enemies. Okay, I'm gonna have to use Comatose Whisper there once again. Yeah, I'm doing really badly in terms of my matching. Usually, I'm not that bad at matching because, as I say, I really like Match 3. But in this case, I am doing pretty awfully. So yeah, if I could just do better, that would be great. I'm gonna have to use Comatose Whisper here. I'm taking so much damage as well. Okay, summon an archer. There we go. Comatose Whisper once again. The archer is hopefully going to be able to clear out a bunch of enemies. And I have no idea what to match. There we go. This. There we go. Okay, some more of these. There we go. I can finally attack. There we go. Yeah, nice. Okay, we've got 10 HP remaining. I think it might be okay. I think we might be fine. Question mark? I'm not entirely sure. But hopefully we will be. Yeah, we can now just do some damage here. As I say, if you're accurate with your weapons, then you do additional bonus damage. So that's obviously something to bear in mind. You definitely want to get that additional bonus damage, because in my case, it actually one-shots most of these opponents. But if I wasn't being that accurate, then I would definitely have a much more difficult time of things. Okay, so there we go. Let's just do that. And there we have it. I think that might actually be the end. Or is it not? Oh no. If it's not, we're going to have some issues then. Oh dear. Okay, yeah, this is bad. This is very, very bad. Comatose Whisper, thank you. Gonna summon my my mercenary once again. Let's just try and get more of these triangles, please. Thank you. And we can now do some damage ourselves. There we are. Oh, these giants are, yeah, very, very damaging. This is the last wave, I believe, isn't it? Yeah, this is the final wave, as you can see right there. And there you go. That's the stage. So that is what the game is all about. That is the gameplay loop at the moment. And in my opinion, I find it a lot of fun. Okay, I find it a lot of fun. The one thing that I would like to see more of, though, is I would love to see less active roles for me to play. For example, I'd love to see my ability to summon more mercenaries. Obviously, that is very much dependent on how much gold you have. And obviously, if it's me, I am a huge fan of Match-3. Obviously, as I've already said, I really, really love Match-3 gameplay. So whenever there's a Match-3 game, I always try to play it. And that's what I think I would like to see more of with this. I would like to see more damage coming out from your matches. Obviously, I understand the premise of the game. You know, obviously you're supposed to match to gain these resources and then use the resources on weapons and spells and so on. But I'd actually like to see maybe those weapons be automatically used. I'm obviously, this is just a bit of a suggestion, a bit of a, you know, preliminary thought being thrown around here, but I would like to see something like that. Not sure whether that could be incorporated into a class, so that if people want to play a little bit differently, so they don't want that much of an active role in how they defend, and instead they can just focus on doing Match-3, because I obviously love that, but yeah, this is obviously just for me. Anyway, the High Council is safe for now. Those monsters snuck through their own planar gate. The Council dispels the gate and asks you to send word to the far reaches of Celador of a pending invasion. And now you get the ability to choose a reward. I don't actually know what I should go for here. I should probably go for another weapon, yeah, all things considered. So I'm going to go for the Steel Trap Crossbow, because this is the thing, you see. This is also something that is a bit strategic about the game as well. When you take something, you've got to think about what kind of die it is using. For example, if it's using a D10, like this crossbow is, then obviously it doesn't share the D4 that my sling uses. So theoretically, I'm now doubling my opportunities for damage. So in other words, if I match a bunch of D10s, then I'm not always, you know, I'm not being completely useless, because then I actually have a weapon that I can use with it. So I'm actually going to be accepting that. And we also gained the next level, so we can now increase our something. I don't even know what stat we should increase. Probably dexterity. I'm going to assume dexterity is probably going to be quite useful for us. So that's probably what I'm going to do, because as you can see, it does provide us with more weapon cooldown. So that's what I'm going to do. Your new renown results in a random gift. Okay, what should I go for? Another weapon, I guess. Yeah, that's actually... Oh no, we have no free weapon slot. Oh, that's sad. Oh, that's actually really, really sad. I'm going to take the mace, though. I'm going to take the mace, because while the sling, in my opinion, is very cool, it's... I mean, it's fine, but it does less damage. potentially, than the Dwarven Mace, so I'm just going to replace that. Obviously, because we are a monk, we can only hold 2 weapons, but if you were to play as a different class, then of course you're going to have the ability to have more of them. Anyway, first stop is the sprawling city of Khanhold, capital of Celador. As you near the mayor's mansion, you hear something scrambling nearby. Alright, let's do it. Okay, so let's match as soon as possible. Of course, I'm going to be matching the D4s now. Ugh. Isn't that such a classic? As soon as I've swapped out that weapon, I get D4s all over the place. Yeah, that's a real classic. Okay, this is going to be really, really bad for me, actually. Okay, there we go. I can finally use the Dwarven Mace. Let's attack that guy, attack this guy. Steel Trap Crossbow, try and shoot that imp. Thank you. Just got to try and match as fast as possible. There we go. Dwarven Mace, murder that thing, murder these. It's all AoE, by the way, or most of the weapons are all AoE, so generally, while you can theoretically do damage just by doing AoE, it's always really, really good to try and get your cursor directly on the opponent, as that is also going to deal bonus damage, so something to bear in mind. Otherwise, let's do this. Can I? Yes, there we go, I can get some more of these. Very nice. Okay, actually this seems to be going much better than the previous one, mostly because we have an abundance of attacks that we can do, which is definitely really, really nice. And you've also got to bear in mind that while Match-3 is a part of the game, it is not the primary focus. Well, I would say it is the primary focus in a way, but you've also got to bear in mind that tower defense, or defending your stats, is actually a pretty significant part of the game. So maybe I should actually realize that, to be honest, instead of complaining about there not being enough Match-3. Maybe I should realize that myself. Yeah, that would probably make sense, right? Anyway, let me see if I can do something here. We're having some... I shot my own elf. Well, it didn't do any damage to him, but still. There we go. Everyone's looking pretty fine right there. And let's just continue to match while we have the ability to do so. There we go. Yes, more of this, more of this. Yes, it's looking good. It's looking real nice. Yeah, so if you actually match 4 or more, the game field actually takes a little bit of damage. It's a bit of an AoE attack. I would kind of like to see more of that. Obviously, I'm very much, you know, just saying that I want to see more Match-3 stuff, but it's kind of like that, you know what I mean? It's kind of like that where if you match 4, then you do more damage, but obviously if you think about if you do that damage with just regular matches, I'm not sure. Maybe it would be kind of cool to make it automated. I don't know. Maybe there could be an option for that. Maybe if people don't want to do this manually or something, then they could obviously do it that way. But I think it's actually pretty fun to do it manually, to be honest. Yeah, I'm changing my opinion on that, actually. I'm changing my opinion as I'm playing more and more of this. And I'm just thinking to myself, wow, yeah, this is actually a lot of fun to do this actively and to try and defend yourself in such a significant fashion with a lot of pressure as well. There is a lot of pressure to it. But it's fun, you know, it's fun pressure, not overwhelming, I'm going to die so dramatically badly kind of pressure, you know what I mean? So I think that actually makes a pretty big difference. There we go, a lot of damage right there. And whoa, we actually did the stage that fast. Yeah, you see, having an additional weapon makes a huge difference in how effective you're able to defend yourself. Really, really nice. Anyway. The mayor thanks you and feeds you well before you head into the desert for your next destination. You could say that you had dessert before you went into the desert. Oh yes, indeed. Alright, so now we have the ability to select a mercenary. We can go for some more gold, or I can go for a throwing dart. Don't really think I need a throwing dart. Maybe a spell could be useful. What's this? It's a 1d4. That might actually be kind of useful. Yeah, we're going to take the spell, I think. Ooh, we also unlocked another level. What are we going to do? We're probably going to go for some more strength, I assume. Probably some more strength would probably be good, right? I mean, that's going to increase the amount of weapon damage that I'm able to do. So... might be good. Yeah, we'll just go for some more strength. Why not? And we now have the ability to select a random gift, which I will select a mercenary. What's this? A fallen gargoyle. Annoyed at losing its flight and taking it out on all before it. Okay, there you go. Great. Ah, and now we have come across an encounter. So there are also these random encounters that can happen sometimes. By the side of the path, you see a winged wolf trying to trying to lap from a puddle. The flying creature, born from magical experiments, has a hunter's arrow through its jaw, making drinking difficult. Its ribs are visible beneath its mangy fur. Okay, so we have 3 options here. Leave the beast alone, there's nothing you can do for it now. Put it out of its misery. Winged wolves are the scourge of livestock and often have bounties. Or try to remove the arrow. Even winged wolves don't deserve to suffer like this. I'm going to say try to remove the arrow. The wolf remains remarkably still as you cut off the ends of the arrow, flinching only slightly when you remove the shaft from its jaw. Flexing its wings, it pauses before taking flight, looks you in the eye, and incredibly, speaks. May you be as lucky as I have been. And we gain +5, actually, I wish it was +5. No, we gain +1 charisma. That's actually pretty nice. Alright, let's journey on. So we made a pretty good decision right there. Nice, I like it. Okay, you leave sealed messages for each tribal leader at the largest neutral trading post. But soon after leaving the area, you hear a disturbing growl behind you. Okay, let's do it. The desert heat has been making it hard to concentrate and your spell cooldown takes 10% longer. Well, thankfully I don't use too many spells, so we shouldn't be too bad off. Possibly. But I'm just going to try and match as fast as I can nevertheless. I'm going to have to eliminate one of these guys. Don't attack my gold, please. Thank you very much. Oh no. Yeah, oh no. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing... there we go, there we go. Gonna put my archer out there just so that it can defend while I'm matching. Obviously, that's something that you definitely want to try to take advantage of too. You want to make sure that you do have a mercenary out in these kinds of situations. And we're going to try and support our archer a little bit because apparently he's not doing that much damage, which is a little bit irritating, but oh well. Alright, so I decided to be a little bit quiet right there, mostly because I was trying to concentrate, trying to make sure that we're doing everything in our power to defend against these enemies. And it seems like we're actually doing really, really nicely right now. My elf archer is, well, doing a little better now, but obviously I think it might be just due to my placement of him, possibly, I don't know. But whatever the case, we're just going to continue dealing damage here. I'm going to continue trying to wound the enemy as much as possible. We're just going to use our spells here as well, just to try and stun them a little bit. And bear in mind that after every single level, you are going to be regenerating in terms of your health. So you don't need to worry so much about your HP when you're actually in the level. And there you go. Wonderful. We were able to do it. Fantastic. Yeah, I'm actually, you know what? I'm going to revise my statement about what I said earlier, because I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I actually don't think you need passive damage from matching on the Match-3 board. I don't think you need that, but for someone like me that really likes Match-3 gameplay, maybe it would be something. I don't know. Maybe I'm not sure how doable that is, but for me, I am absolutely loving this game. And if you are also someone that in general just enjoys tower defense or enjoys RPGs, tabletop RPGs, and so on and so forth, and you don't really mind the Match-3 gameplay, you know, maybe you're not a big fan of it or whatever, because I know it's not that popular a genre, but for me personally, this is pretty much a perfect combination of genres, and they've done it in a really charming way as well. Anyway, you make it out of the desert and don't look back. You never did like the heat. That is true. Anyway, I'm going to accept the Enduring Witch, and we're going to be getting some additional strength as well. That's going to make me do even more damage, which is very nice. And we'll go for another spell. Okay, so what's this? Mist carrying a curse that damages enemies. It's a 1d6 though. I'm going to swap that for some money. Don't really see the point in that. Anyway, you stand on the edge of Crow's Claw, peering into the bleak canyon overgrown with blackened vines and thorn willows. Something's shuffling in the scrub that throngs your path. Alright, so for me, I'm going to end this episode off here. I am going to be continuing to play this in my spare time. And if you would like to check out the game, there is a link in the description. And you can also play the same exact version of the game that I'm playing right now through the playtest. So, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.